Good evening. A class action lawsuit dating back more than 2 decades is finally headed for a multi-million-dollar settlement.
It was first filed in 1999. KITV4's Jeremy Lee joins us now live with what this could mean for thousands of Hawaiian homeland beneficiaries who have been on the wait list for years. Jeremy.
Mika and Rick, we had a chance to speak with the attorney representing the plaintiffs and got his reaction after a vote by legislators this afternoon paved the way for that $328 million settlement. 2,700 plaintiffs who filed decades ago stand to benefit from the settlement against the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, which failed to deliver on the promise of leased homes for this group of Native Hawaiians. 2,700 Native Hawaiians who were on the DHHL wait list from 1959 to 1988 are closer to seeing compensation for the wait. Attorney Carl Verade says for years the state of Hawaii had resisted a settlement and even put resources into opposing one. However,
I think the big thing that changed was the Supreme Court's opinion at the end of June in 2020. Avenues that the state had for appeal were exhausted in 2020. And I think the handwriting was on the wall.
Verade credits current goodwill in the legislature and governor's office. As Representative Sylvia Luke noted at the legislative committee vote,
we have had unprecedented revenues this year, and that really prompted the discussion between the state and the claimants to come to a resolution.
How will the settlement be distributed?
The plaintiff's counsel will be required to hire an administrator who's going to process all of the claims. But, the claimants were all on the wait list for different periods of time.
What's more, reports that rely on simple math aren't calculating for the number of associated fees and the variable settlement amount per plaintiff.
It goes back to the beginning of statehood, August 21st, 1959, through June 30, 1988. The damages continue up through this year for some people who didn't receive homestead awards. And all of that is a moving window depending on when you applied. So it's really hard to come up with a number and say people will get X, because that's simply not true.
Verade hopes that process will conclude sometime next year.
And we have to be able to show the court that we've looked for people, tried to find them, found them, calculated their damages.
DHHL oversees 203,000 acres of land. The class action suit has been known as the Kalima case after plaintiff Leona Kalima. There are currently over 20,000 native Hawaiian descent on the DHHL waitlist. Reporting live, Jeremy Lee, KITV4 Island News Tonight.